We are Group 3 and we are here to present about the level of perceived social support of all ResMed 1 students by department of academic year 2017-2018 using the multi-dimensional scale of perceived social support questionnaire of academic year 2017-2018. Our specific objectives are to describe the scores of students taking ResMed course by department for their perceived social support from family, to describe the scores of students taking ResMed course by department for their perceived social support from friends, and to describe the scores of students taking ResMed course by department for their perceived social support from significant other. The study design is cross-sectional descriptive because the study aims to determine and assess the perceived social support of all ResMed 1 students of academic year 2017-2018, categorizing the students based on department. The study was conducted at one point in time through distribution of questionnaires online via eLeap. As mentioned earlier, the participants of the study are all the students in UST-CRS who are taking ResMed as course. There is a total of 261 students with 97 students from the PT, 80 students from the OT, 50 students from the SLP, and 34 students from the SPS department. Here is a table presenting the general demographics of students from UST-CRS taking ResMed course. The multidimensional scale of perceived social support is a questionnaire that includes 12 questions and is divided into 3 subscales, each addressing a different source of support. Family, questions 3, 4, 8, and 11, friends, questions 6, 7, 9, 12, and significant other, questions 1, 2, 5, and 10. The questionnaire is answered by encircling the corresponding answers where 1 is if the person very strongly agrees, 2 is if the person strongly disagrees, 3 is if the person mildly agrees, 4 is if the person is neutral, 5 is if the person mildly agrees, 6 is if the person strongly agrees, and 7 is if the person very strongly agrees. Any mean total score ranging from 1 to 2.9 could be considered low support. Meanwhile, having a score of 3 to 5 could be considered as moderate support. Lastly, a score ranging from 5.1 to 7 could be considered as high support. Figure 1 shows the average of the perceived social support of ResMed 1 students from the family between OT, PT, SLP, and SPS. The average for OT is 4.75, PT is 5.34, SLP is 5.49, and SPS is 5.26. Figure 2 shows the average of the perceived social support of ResMed 1 students from friends between OT, PT, SLP, and SPS department. Average for OT is 5.38, PT is 5.60, SLP is 5.68, and SPS is 5.52. Figure 3 shows the average perceived social support of ResMed 1 students from significant other between OT, PT, SLP, and SPS. The average for OT is 4.91, PT is 4.95, SLP is 5.19, and SPS is 5.02. Based on the data, the OT department had the least perceived social support from the family, having an average of 4.75, which is moderate support. Meanwhile, the SLP department had the most perceived social support from the family, having an average of 5.49, which is high support. The SPS and PT department, which had an average of 5.26 and 5.34 respectively, had high support as well. Based on the data, the OT department had an average of 5.38, SPS an average of 5.52, PT an average of 5.60, and SLP an average of 5.68. The OT department had the least social support, followed by the SPS, the PT, and lastly the SLP department, which had the most perceived social support, although all the departments are considered as high support. Based on the data, the OT department had an average of 4.91, PT an average of 4.95, SPS an average of 5.02, SLP an average of 5.19. The OT department had the least perceived social support between the other departments. Meanwhile, the SLP department had the most perceived social support between the other departments. The OT and PT have moderate support. The SLP and SPS department have high support. Implication. In general, the perceived social support of the ResMed students are moderate to high in each department. This means they feel that they have enough support from their family, friends, and significant other. This means that the students may be emotionally stable and have more available assistance from other people in terms of support, but may be more dependent as well to other people.